What's up, guys? Jacob here with ZZ Diesel. I've got a product spotlight video for you guys today, but it's also more of an informative video, something I want you guys to pay attention to on your trucks, your Super Duties, for example, or even your Cummins or Duramax platforms. One thing that I want to mention to you guys today is that this is something that people don't usually think about. What we're talking about is our bump stops that go in the front of your suspension on your vehicle as well as the rear. So they can be called a suspension stop, a bump stop, whatever you guys want to call them. But basically, if your suspension is ever to completely bottom out against an axle or an arm, whatever it is, any vehicle for that example, these can wear out, they can deteriorate, like you see on the one here that was off the front of the vehicle behind me. And they just simply need replaced because obviously you don't want something coming down against this. As you can see, it literally will crumble here in my hands. These are things that just need to be replaced and maintained. These are common on a lot of years of the Super Duty trucks. These part numbers here that we're going to talk about for the fronts is going to be a DC3Z3020B. On the rears, I actually have already installed them on the truck behind us here, but that's going to be a 7C3Z4730A. And the rear is actually going to look just like you see here. This one was completely gone on this vehicle, but basically you could imagine this being all the way on there like so, and you would then have your bolt that goes through and a nut, which is going to be an option on our website as well. So we're going to go show you guys how to remove the old one real quick. It's really simple, how to install the new one, and go from there. Obviously, I have our Schaefer's 219 grease in the video here. I talk about it a lot. We use it a lot around our shop. It's something great to have on you guys' shelves, whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or you're a shop. All right, guys. So I want to show you here. Obviously, I took this bump stop out already, but it's simple. This one was wore out, as you can see. And all that you simply do is grab these things and press on them one way or the other, wiggle them, pull on them, whatever you want to do, and they will literally break, as you can see here on a tab, and pop out of the socket that they go into. Now, like I said, the importance of this is because if this was not here as a buffer, your suspension could technically come all the way down and hit your axle in this example. So you definitely want to make sure that these are in place. Otherwise, if it were to ever bottom out, if you're in an off-road condition, you're going through a side ditch, whatever that application may be, these are a must-have and need to be replaced. So like I said, we want to use our Schaefer 219 like we always talk about. Took a little bit out of the tube with my finger. And all I'm going to do on the new bump stop is just put a thin film out here around that edge. If you try to put these things in dry, it's really hard to do. Schaefer's grease, in my opinion, like I've said many times, it's the best grease that's out there. It's 100% waterproof, the 219 is. And it contains some additives that a lot of other greases don't have. It's really not 100% necessary in this case, but it's what we always have on our shelves because in most cases it's going to be what you need for your application. So as you can see there, I've got a thin film around the outer edge of that, and we're going to put this back in the truck. I've got the Schaefer 219 grease on there. You'll have these little small tabs that pop out. You're going to want to get it started into one side, obviously. It's going to make things a little bit easier. So if you can get it worked into one side, you'll feel it go in. And then you might have to kind of get under the vehicle, but you'll get it started in there. You're going to give it a quick twist. And just like that, you'll finally feel a sudden clip or a pop almost. And as you can see, it is now secured into position. So it's as simple as that. That's all there is to replacing these things. All right, guys, so for the rear, you're going to have, obviously, your metal base here. You may have some material still left on yours or not, like I showed you out there on our table. If you do, you're going to need, or all you're going to need is a 15 millimeter ratchet wrench or a socket with a ratchet, whatever you can get up in here to fit. There are little metal tabs on these, so you will want to make sure you hold up from the bottom while you're ratcheting to get them loose. Once again, our Schaefer's Penetro 90 is a great penetrating oil and lubricant to help get these bolts out quicker. I would recommend spraying the top of your bolt head up in here on the top side of the frame first before you start to break it loose. It's going to come out 10 times easier than it would with no lubricating or penetrating oil on there at all. Once you have that out with your 15mm ratchet wrench or socket, you're going to just push the new one up in there. It's still going to have an alignment tab like so. Hold it up from the bottom. I always recommend putting a little bit of our Schaefer's 219 grease on that thread head like so, or up on, you can use Penetro 90 as well. Either one will be a great lubricant. Start your nut from the top side, hold it from the bottom, tighten it back up, and that's all there is to doing the rears. They're super easy. You can get the nut as well. It's an option from us to get a brand new nut. I would highly recommend getting the new nut. It's going to go in easier than an old nut that may be rusted out up there. So that's all there is to doing this project on your Super Duty truck. Like I said, it's going to be similar for your Duramaxes and your Cummins trucks. If you have questions or need these, just get a hold of us. We'll get you taken care of. Sometimes we may need your VIN number to get the exact one for your application. You can find the Super Duty ones on our website right now, zzdiesel.com. And if you ever have any questions about this, give us a call. Our number is 800-749-0688.